Alright, hello. Welcome back. It's been... I forget if we streamed a week ago or last Tuesday or what, but we're back. It's me, Andrew, and I'm with John, and we're going to keep powering through the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. What happened last time? It was like, we discovered that the guy was actually the ballerina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then I think, like, it cut to, like, to be continued, and we just paused there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
because I think like something was happening, like on another part of the ship.
Yes, something like that. Okay. January, SS Buria, Miss Pavlova's cabin. Dong dong.
Dum dum.
Somehow the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Oh yeah, it was like it gave away the whole twist of how the murder cabin was locked from the inside.
Yeah.
Susano-san took a deep breath and gently slid back the bolt. You! What are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yeah, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought we saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere. This first-class cabin area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Someone triggered the alarm. Does that mean... Did someone press that button outside?
I think Pavlova's you, right?
Oh, yeah. You wicked intruder, dressed in all black, you are the devil. Sorry, me? We called a lot of things before, but devil is the first. You opened my traveling case, how could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. If you spoke, you got cut off.
That's Pavlova.
Jake says the Andrew Talks for 2 hours episode. Yeah, I was looking at the screen, it's like, oh, these are all my characters. Oh boy. It's okay, like 2 weeks ago, like John was like talking for like an hour and a half straight.
I know, I was gonna say, I'm grateful that it's the Andrew Talks Forever episode. It was already open when we came into your cabin.
Inspector. Yes. Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. It is not enough that he has killed the man. What the fuck is this 180? I thought we were friends now. Ah, and he is stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Take him away. Oh shit, my accent! Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else. Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right, you are devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police, who will say, this is not our jurisdiction, go home. Wait, a cell?
Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there anything you can do?
This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. Why am I here? I'm literally a spy. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options.
This is terrible.
This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. Well, alright, guess we examine because we can't leave. We can't talk to anybody. Try to figure out who opened this, I guess. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigate. Don't touch my things! You want me to show you where crawfish hibernates? Oh my god. I was only just looking! What the fuck? John, I think you're getting cut off again.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think you're doing?
Wow, everyone's attacking me, and I was just starting to think she was my friend. Alright, well, don't touch her stuff, I guess.
Like, Susano is, I think, like the most bipolar person.
Oh, yes. Isn't there anyone who could help me out of this mess? I guess this is the only person who doesn't hate me right now. You got yourself into a difficult situation here. By entering this cabin uninvited, I mean. Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened, I'll have to report to the captain at once. I really need some help here. I need a savior to rescue me from this crisis. So it just has to be Sherlock, right? Or Herlock.
Herlock.
Yes. Well, I can't look at any of the things. This
I
guy...
bet Herlock is in that big bag. Oh.
Are you kidding me?
What the fuck?
What the fuck is he doing? Alright, here we go. Oh my god. What the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Schultz!
And he's wearing the tiara.
Yeah. What if he's the bad guy?
Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head.
I'm pretty sure he's not the bad guy because, like, he's, like, advertised in the game, kind of.
Yeah.
But, like, what if he's just acting like a goofy idiot so that no one suspects him of anything?
Oh my god. Have I not told you as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not. This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no, no.
Well, why were you hanging from that hook before then?
Isn't it obvious to properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles? Naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounty.
I never know whether to take this man seriously or not.
Pro tip, don't.
Yeah. Ah, you again, the great detective.
Ah, Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently.
Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is to report? Speak!
An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Burya, has been solved. By me, naturally.
Ugh. What?
Really? Yes, I've eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your mind. For I'm about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case.
Ha! You have solved it. Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all know who was responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found the criminal in wardrobe. It is the stowaway. And he has handcuffs to prove it. Oh, here we go. Take a drink.
Oh, well.
I didn't do it. Oh shit, we didn't show him for once. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who's inside the cabin.
Yeah, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories.
Ah, locked room. That is point. The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. How many times are we going to say the room was locked? Jesus. Why is the game spelling this out so much? There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin.
You're all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all.
What?
Oh yes, there's no other entrance. Or there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door.
What other entrance? We never discovered.
Why, it gapes open-mouthed at your eyes as we speak. The ventilator man.
The vent man. The ventilator. You think this is funny? I can't even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? It's not possible.
It is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator.
Mr. Sholmes, do you mean? Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Precisely, my dear madam.
But what does it mean? What is this speckled band?
The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing?
There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for all of you will shock you to your core. Behold!
Ah!
God!
Ah! What the?
Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the speckled band.
A snake? Snake!
Indubitably. Say?
Mr. Sholmes, just one thing.
Pray, what troubles you?
Well, a snake isn't really speckled, is it? Looks more stripy, wouldn't you say?
Yes, you're right. I think in this case you have to call it the striped band, would you?
You both see and observe, with distinction, however. Do you not think that it is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall?
Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap!
How exactly?
I think perhaps it is time I explained the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova?
I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. The whole thing has nothing to do with me.
There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one. Last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin.
Ah,
And number two. That same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life.
no. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Charles must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This man has been so reliable so far.
Oh, God.
This young woman's friend killed Mr. Ahsoki. It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head.
Advise as little movement as possible, seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck.
That's what we should call snakes, the long friends.
So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular.
Oh, we're gonna do the dance again. Yep.
Oh boy.
Great deduction. The game is fun. Topic 1. Intruder's identity.
Ms. Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Oh, I'll be back in a second.
No problem. Dog. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that oh, there you go. Go ahead.
Claim that the evidence your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend, the withering serpent, we see before us a writhing serpent. And yet, that fact leaves us in quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a spangled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. So, what explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
She's got something out of her pocket. No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you're trying, but failing to conceal, can only be the snake's soft skin. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime of this most deadly friend of yours, shed its original skin, no.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last night, through the ventilators visible in this cabin, your thin speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side of the bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared that the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake, whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India.
Conclusion, a beloved speckled snake. Topic 2. How Mr. Ahsoki died.
Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there was no visible signs of injury.
Ah.
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom.
Didn't he have like a single blow to the neck or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Although, could there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death exclusively. The almost, but not quite, and perceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There's no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glances betray the hiding place you choose. That's right, you hid evidence that links you to the victim's death in the traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your servant assassin is restless inside, no doubt.
You don't.
It's telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your servant friend.
To train?
Indeed, you put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you summoned it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training?
It's not true.
Having slithered through the ventilator and down the belt cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt my logic is infallible.
Conclusion: death by a venomous snake. This is a bite.
This concludes Herlock Sholm's great deduction of the speckled band. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor you observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food and the key to training any creature.
Incredible. You've solved the mystery. Amazing. Your great deduction really lived up to its name. I see now why Sherlock Holmes has become such a household name.
My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand.
Could I have an opinion, Mr. Holmes?
No, you're a woman. Shut up.
Yes. But of course, what's on your mind?
It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me.
I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly.
Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family.
You are well informed, madam.
And reptiles, don't drink milk.
Ah,
It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
no matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used other treats to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds.
Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears.
They can hear things, surely, right?
Ah,
Yeah, so I'm not sure it would be possible to signal a snake by whistling.
but madam, what are the tales of Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute?
I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements.
Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless.
Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Schultz.
No. Thing. You're an idiot.
You have more.
Snakes use scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins.
Then it should try harder.
Please don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the cabin next door, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that you're an idiot. Is that there are a number of reasons why it is difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this.
The guy's devastated. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. John, you cut out if you were talking.
Oh.
I think
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh no, you don't mean.
Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and play the game.
Yeah.
And turn them into the great ones they ought to be.
Oh no, not gameplay.
Yeah. Oh no, you mean we have to play the game? Ugh.
I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try.
Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, right.
So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again.
Take a drink. What?
Oh. Drink.
Done it again.
Your handcuffs are gone!
Where did they go?
Fear not, I shall see them restored after our work is done.
I really should leave them off.
Now, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular.
Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Shelms. Topic 1, introduce identities. Okay, we'll skip to where you actually do something. So it's her wrist. So was she like that thing that he saw that he thought was a skin? Is it like a scarf or something? And like she was using it to climb up through the vent?
Maybe.
Something like because Kazuma was here on some kind of mission. So I should probably be reading this dialogue. Not this one. Here we go. Yeah. Yes, she does have a pained expression on her
Yes.
face.
True. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind.
If you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then?
Let's take a moment. And really look closely at Miss Pavlova.
Let's get way up in that personal bubble. Oh,
Oh, Naruhado-san, look! That looks like a painful wound.
I don't know. I feel like my cat gives me that every few days.
Yeah.
It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal, and fairly recently too. Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be. Oh, that's you. Sorry.
It's fine.
Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here.
That's probably it.
You could, like, click on her neck.
Well, can I? Oh, I think I could just present this. Right ear. Left ear.
She
I think it's probably this.
She has different earrings.
Is that stylish or is that because one was lost? I don't know. I think it's definitely the claw.
I mean, I would click on them just to see.
Oh my.
She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair, like the pink shells.
Oh, what's that? Something dangling down from her ear.
Ah, that's an earring! The crescent moon part looks as though it's made from wood. It's charming, isn't it? I would sure love a pair, Naruhado-san.
Women do seem to love adornments like that. In their hair, around their necks, on their fingers, and even hanging from their ears, it seems.
Oh, jewelry is beautiful, Naruhado-san.
I'd rather study the blade.
She has such petite... Oh, yeah.
Yep. Same thing. Just a slightly different earring, I guess. Oh,
Perhaps part of it's missing, something broke off. So now all stuff is attaches to the ear.
If that's the case, she doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. Oh, you were right, John. Nice. So we can check out the aching heart. Definitely not staring down her shirt. She really does look troubled.
Yes, it's hard to believe she's putting that expression on to fool us.
But if you look closely, it's almost like she's actually staring at something.
And what do you think?
Maybe the thing we discovered already. Perhaps something physically causing her pain. We should have a closer look.
Yes!
Yes. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain.
Indeed, and simple observation reveals the wound is fresh.
Ah. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch? Sometime last night. Ah! When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse.
Is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night?
I think we're repeating.
Why, naturally. Oh, is this stuff that he's already said?
Yeah. Is this a sailor? It seems like there's a scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand, or she has more than one pet, I don't know. It's made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they?
They don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow.
Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? Wait, is the snake not been her pet the whole time?
I don't think so.
Oh, is this just a fucking snake somewhere on the boat?
Yep.
Wow.
We should follow her gaze, Harusan. That's where we'll find the answer.
Well, let's look around. Oh, is this a picture?
It's a cat.
With a cat? Are you serious?
I also like that the sailor's scarf is a fish.
Ah, look at the photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away.
She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she?
So why wouldn't she just say, that's literally not my pet. Look, I have a cat. Yes, that's true, but personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we better take a close look at this. Little kit. Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova is cuddling here.
Cute kitten. I could vie with you, couldn't it, Naruhata-san? For the blackest outfit.
A black kitten. From the look of this picture, at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it.
Yes!
What if the snake ate the cat? That's what we can't
Oh my
imagine.
god.
Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us.
Yes! The scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear.
Oh no! The whereabouts of this black kitten are not clear, but what is clear? So you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Ah! Darka is my best friend. Darka? Really? I couldn't leave her behind.
Darka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, the fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell us a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this one's mark does not fit the description in any way. Explanation can then give prey. What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
Yeah, okay. We're gonna with the scarf thing. It's gonna say it's the skin, and obviously that makes sense because it's not even a snake anymore; it's her pet.
Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back.
It was already hidden in the pocket. You don't have to take it out and hide it more.
I know.
If she just left it in the pocket, no one would have ever known.
Oh my god.
Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Schultz's specialty. He's so cleverly forced her to reveal something.
Did he? Did he?
I thought deduction was a specialty, or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too.
Anyway, I find it hard to believe that the skin of a snake.
In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? Oh, what is that?
Like a whip?
Is it a cat toy? Well, it is speckled and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy. A long piece of cloth of some sort. That looks like a handle at one end.
Toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently.
Also, like, what is going on right now? Like, are we just, like, having a conversation staring at her hand? Like, right? Like, where are we having this conversation right now?
Logic.
How is that a toy for cats?
Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it.
That sounds positively adorable. It is. Is there anything else you're signing?
Yes!
Yes, the thing you are trying but failing to conceal is a cat's toy.
Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band.
Ah!
And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume, naturally. The victim could not fail to notice it.
But why? For what reason?
My dear boy, there could be only one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova in which the last night infiltrated the scene of the crime is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Daka.
Cock!
A truly troublesome feline young Daka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova.
The photograph has been added into the court record. It was after I gave her her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty. Conclusion, a beloved kitten. Topic 2, how he died. Conclusion, probably not a snake bite anymore.
No. Moving on, when it comes to the heart of the matter. Oh wait, he's already said all this.
Yeah. Cat fucking judo chopped him.
God. I mean, Ahsoki is the one that apparently can judo chop the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
So
cat killed him and then wrote a fake message in the ink.
Yes.
What Mr. Shulms says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kazuma-sama's body.
That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned.
Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing now.
It's like an autopsy report, right? Yes.
Yes!
Post-mortem report. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report.
Ah, yes, I knew it was one or the other.
His neck was...
Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebra is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that.
He was strong enough. This is some immortal freak, you know. Also, what is that pose? It's like a Waluigi pose right there.
Wah! The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be?
Yes, an exhumation of the deceased body will prove the case of death conclusively.
Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone.
Yes, a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though.
Presumably Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow.
I suppose. It's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident.
But he wouldn't have been able to write,
Yeah.
like, wardrobe in Russian.
Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it.
It's rather hard to believe Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man.
Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened?
I mean, there's the slip.
This is my only guess. But I thought this was from him being dragged in, not from him slipping. So it's either going to be the postmortem report again, or the mark on the floor. But I think it's the report because it literally just says that it was a blow to the neck. So I'm going to try this.
Yes!
No, that's not correct.
That deduction is wanting in every way.
Yes, I was wanting you to hear it. I'm quite proud of it.
I myself wanting never to have heard it. I'm quite pained by it, in fact.
Oh, sorry. I'll try again. I like how we have to be all nice and gentle with his feelings, and he just roasts us when we get something wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, sexual hit. This movie found in a strange mark. Okay, yeah, so does the mark. Okay. Alright, Jesus. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yes!
Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will provide the cause of death conclusively. Proof.
This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish.
Shoe polish.
Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results, the undeniable ingredients of shoe polish.
And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Ahsoki's laced leather shoes. What? Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Ahsoki must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. Please, no. Is that trying to make it look like he tripped on the cat?
I guess. And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebra shattered, and in that instant he lost his life.
No! I don't know why she's upset by that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Ahsoki lost his life?
Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you choose.
I think this is a repeat. Yeah. Yes. So it was not hidden there. I didn't hear you if you said it. Oh, there you go.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over him. Now he's no more?
This can't be the actual solution.
It can't be true. I refuse to accept it. It's impossible!
I know it's hard to believe, but trust your feelings. But the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened.
But
And if this part of Mr. Sholm's deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes, so something's on the desk.
where are you?
But let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. Well, is there literally only the tiara? Oh, waste paper basket. I've already seen the tiara. Let's see if it's in here.
Perhaps all the first-class cabins have them.
But Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet. Oh. Oh, what's that?
It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before.
If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you.
Yes!
The other half is in the room. By the mark. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. Ah!
Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that is familiar air, in fact.
Precisely, we found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Ahsoki's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no.
Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin? You're well acquainted with the glass bell, are you not? It's the cat's bell.
Oh. Nice, I didn't catch that. I don't.
I don't know. That hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question.
What?
Take it away, Mr. Nurahodo.
Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell, that would be... It's gonna be this picture, right, that we just found?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. A bell.
Yes!
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from darkest color, the very glass bell in question. Aye.
The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall.
The cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline friend,
Darka.
It's hard to do over the delay. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry. This can't be the right answer. There's gotta be a twist somewhere. The murderer is a fucking cat. Deduction complete. Elementary. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands. People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments. She was so fast. She disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her.
And that's how you acquire the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it.
Yes. And I had read the rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed Darka with me. Yes, modern science suggests that they can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really. One that will never come back to bite us, ever. So, I listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping.
So at that point, you thought it was safe to try to lure the kitten back again. By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin.
Darka always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy, I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Kazuma wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet.
Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened.
I like how we still haven't figured out where this snake came from. By the way, like... Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she calmed down. But then... Meow. Thud. I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out, and then, oh, it was such a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Kazuma was... From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor. Seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. The SS Buria is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Ahsoki was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got underneath his feet, the combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards? In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator.
Yet, Doc is nowhere to be seen.
I must have forgotten to lock my case. And now she's disappeared again.
Gracious, that cat is insufferably restless as I am. I'm gonna laugh if it's like the cat is like on Sholmes.
Yeah. Well, he knows something about himself, at least. When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right. Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then who is this? Where did it come from? Oh, is it his pet? What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board this ship? Oh, I didn't say? Snake is my friend. His name is Pirajko. Why didn't you say the whole fucking time? What? The snake belongs to you? He escaped from cage when the alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him in here. Yeah, how did the snake get into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. Ha! We are at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long without close friend? Without someone who understands? Couldn't you find someone a little more human? Who understands you better?
My dear burly fellow. A gargantuan venomous snake. Surely you could appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in.
No venom.
Oh,
Pirajko does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, but very gentle. He is adorable, like Granny.
it's venomous.
Yes, now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him this random kitten I found, you will see big smile.
Oh god.
And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ha! Like they say, they milk chickens? Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Pirajko eats mouses, big fat around the mouses. Oh, so is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? I think it says top of the food chain, like the look in their eyes right now.
It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. It can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role?
It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Pirajko has nothing to do with this incident. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. I didn't hear you if you talked.
Miss Pavlova. I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then the only way you're getting out of here is in a body bag. And no matter what circumstances, I cannot forgive you.
What? What are you talking about, Miss Migatova? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It was just a series of unfortunate events. It was an accident. Jesus.
I'm a detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth.
Why do we go through all this thing? God damn it.
Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. How'd you get the bell back, I guess?
And the writing in Russian.
Right. But that's, yeah.
I confess. I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter.
Oh.
Only one present here for a very specific reason. The truth is you, Mr. Naruhodo, simply a distraction.
A distraction?
I do hope you're not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable.
You drink?
Drink.
Ah, not again. Why did he do that?
Especially as they're on your wrists as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call.
You were Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not?
Yes. Kazuma was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom, even.
In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. It has to be the bell, because it proves that she was in the writing. But like the bell proves that she got something in there. The truth about how you really died and how that scene in your cabin really came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Excellent!
Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo.
So then, shall we begin?
Yes.
What we should ponder first is the victim who lost his life in the cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident? Or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in the first instance.
But we've already did it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten and had climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident.
Hold it!
Wait. Well, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened. Does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Kazuma's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. Really?
Show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence.
It must be this, right?
And that would be my guess.
The writing, yeah. We can't point to the bell. It was in her room, so I guess it must be this.
Yes!
The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. There's no way that Mr. Ahsoki could have left this message on the floor. That script, it's Russian, is it not?
Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe.
I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese, in this case. Why are we only just now able to point this out? But maybe he was studying Russian. It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. Doesn't seem likely. But that's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. Sorry, what do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There is no way that Mr. Ahsoki could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Instant death. Ah. Which means after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything. Because he was already dead.
Neither. There's something else we found in Mr. Ahsoki's cabin. A remnant of something that could possibly have been there if what Miss Pavlova told us was true.
What? So, Susano-san has noticed it too, then. Putting this message on the floor aside, there's something else that gives the truth away. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. In other words... It's gotta be this. Because how did someone take the words of the bell away?
Yeah.
Yes!
This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. But that's the glass bell the kitten had around his neck. We already knew all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there was a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? If that's really what happened, then how did one half of the bell end up back here in this cabin? Ah.
Remember, we found the other half of the glass bell in the waste paper basket.
The wastebasket basket.
Yes. Would you care to explain that?
Oh no. Both of these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Ahsoki died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room.
Who's that Pokemon?
Yeah. Do. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth. In order to cover up his or her own guilt. Kya.
Yeah. President Mr. Ahsoki's.
Who said that? You were wasting time. That's his voice. Someone else was there? Duh, of course, we know this. What are you talking about? Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out. Oh, yes. And the only other person in cabin when young student died was you.
Yes!
Jigglypuff!
It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened.
You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details.
But I don't know Russian. There's no way I could have left that message.
Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details.
Would you mind?
Forgive me, my dear fellow.
As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I'd been asleep in there the entire time. Then oh, that's you. I didn't hear you.
And then the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor. For fear of becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Ahsoki really died.
I feel like that's like a kid doing like a Bible reading at church. It's just like robotically reading.
And then Jesus said,
But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, oh, I didn't think about that either.
It was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. The single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast any light on the floor there. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item.
You all suspect me, don't you? See, Miss Stroganoff. Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join the ballet company. Seemed like her brother or something. But before, she was dancer on this ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal? Ah, so that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there in his cabin. But that is not possible. I give you my tooth.
This is all most interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure?
You are a great detective. You should know. Look through in eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Or you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors? Niet. It's impossible. Ah, he's right. God, we've already know how it can get locked. Oh my god.
this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside.
But we've established that you can't do that with these doors.
Thread? Are you stupid?
Like, she established that.
Did you forget your own plot point? Idiot. These bulkheads are not barn doors.
Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel, with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles, magnet could have been used.
No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so...
Susano-san, how could you shit it on the beat like that? We already know what the answer is. So, Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. cabin door could not have been bolted shut from the outside.
Not necessarily.
What?
I put it to you that it could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind having been used before.
I don't believe it.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you?
We finally get to present the evidence. The fucking books. A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes.
Do you really know what Mr. Schultz means, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes. And so should you, because we figured it out together. Because we've seen it happen.
Indeed we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo?
Quantitative science, aka the books. Does it not? Does it really not light up? Oh, it doesn't light up anywhere. Okay.
Yes!
Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over?
That must have happened. The ship made its emergency stop before.
Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel, after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over.
I believe. Yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects.
Is there nothing Susano-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book, at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed those books over on the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door.
Oh!
It was very obvious just after the stop that the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before, and we had bolted the door. But then... Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... John, I clipped out again.
Inspector Hosanaga. Oh, yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across the locked door.
Tucson is going through puberty. Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inertia, if you want to call it that way. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Ahsoki was killed?
Oh man, the animation budget.
Yeah. The SS Beria made another stop. When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked it all over.
I remember that. And I stood them up again, didn't I?
For some reason. Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Ahsoki's cabin.
Oh my.
Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Are you out of your mind? You say Burya made emergency stop? It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room.
It is simple enough. I hit the button.
Yeah, I did it. Well, we already know that like she like airdropped onto the boat or something, right? Like, so they stopped for that or something. But then this must have been after she was on because her stuff is in the room.
You're forgetting the button in the passageway outside, used to trigger the emergency alarm.
Oh, yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you only to press the button in times of emergency?
On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookouts alone. Hence, the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity.
Wait, it was you?
Yep.
Oh my god.
When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bells rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop.
Well, I bet he pushed it the second time. Like the one that that just happened. I don't know if he pushed it last night, but we'll find out.
As indeed it did a little earlier today.
Mr. Sholmes! Surely it wasn't you who...
As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion.
He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now.
No! Now, I'm sure that can wait until later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learnt a valuable lesson. Press every button.
Yeah.
When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider.
Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Ahsoki, did this ship make an emergency stop or did it not?
You are idiots. Burya is a huge ship with many passengers. We make emergency stop even in middle of night. There would be chaos everywhere.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo?
Wouldn't people like hear the alarm and stuff? Oh,
I would
but
think.
oh, and like, wasn't there several people who had like head pains? Like they all hit their heads. Or something? Yeah. Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. The alarm.
Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
It's the logbook. And why are you talking like a robot?
Because
I know.
picks it up.
I know.
Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. Well, also, I guess that would make her like the perfect Japanese sex bot.
Oh God.
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff, it's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship, isn't that right? That is correct. Why? And the ship's log here, this would be where you record the details of your entries? What are you doing with that? That is mine.
You carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later.
I left it there on purpose. That is where I put it always. The point is, looking at what you recorded, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase, "nothing to report," every 30 minutes. From 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing recorded in the log. That is, because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, you would normally write nothing to report, wouldn't you? Gulp.
Indeed, so. Which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened. Here aboard the SS Beria. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log in fact.
Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
Stop talking rubbish. If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh, why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed.
That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night.
Well, no, that's a good point.
What of the throbbing?
That's what she said. Sorry, what do you mean?
Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it.
Ah!
Oh yes, I haven't had a headache. You're right. Or I have had a headache. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. I got this shit beaten out of me.
Nor have I. My head has been feeling very heavy since dawn.
Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected.
He's right. My head's been throbbing today too. We didn't even get a chance to point it out. The game just did it.
Yeah.
And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. Can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. It's almost like I'm only alive when I'm out of the closet. The first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I'd already been dragged out of the wardrobe. Take a drink.
Drink.
And had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me?
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, well, yes. Sorry.
The stowaway class of accommodations doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on?
Well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals.
So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served last night?
Yes, in fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken.
Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all?
That's right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant?
My dear fellow, does that not strike you?
Oh! Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken?
Oh, So it wasn't the head thing, it was... Oh, or maybe it was like they like drugged all the passengers with a chicken so that
Oh,
they wouldn't be awake during the stop?
I-
No.
I
Really?
guess.
Is that really true? Would they fuck with chicken? That's too far, man.
The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with by me.
I want to see what happened.
Tampered with by the addition of a soporific designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it.
A sleeping drug? Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? There was a case... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, wait. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, there was a case in the first game that had someone getting drugged with sleeping pills, too.
Of course, that's Mr. Schultz means. What a far-fetched idea.
That's exactly what I mean.
Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on a board with a soporific jug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator.
Mr. Schultz!
Well, seen it.
Ugh.
I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course.
Who would definitely get you off because they're a Russian company and you're a Russian sailor. I'm not going to listen to some British dude. You'll go off completely free.
And for that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself would be hauled over to the cold. For aiding and abetting a renegade.
We still haven't, like... I assume that a terrorist or whatever is on the boat too. We still haven't touched on that at all? Like... Oh, well. Please.
No, that'll be the next case.
Yeah, but it'll be like the next half of the boat journey. Please.
Oh, God.
No more. I will tell everything. If someone else will die. Eh? I can't make problems like this for everyone anymore.
These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe.
Yes, so when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help. Everyone together. She threw away it all. Her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Oh my god. Da, we could not make all the drug. How do you say... dissolve? Ugh, talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight, in the waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrades on shore with a small fishing boat.
While the passengers of the SS Beria slept soundly. Thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained.
So, if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. That means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the stop trick to lock the cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have been unlocked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos.
I wouldn't say so.
What? Ah, of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their meal of chicken in their cabins. After which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug.
And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night.
Yes!
The overwhelming majority of passengers would have habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway. And so none of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt on a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning.
You have talked a long time and said many things. What's his point?
The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedures in order to lock a door. I bet it's going to be Stroganoff. All told, a busy night.
It has to be a revolutionary, but maybe they'll be referenced later. I don't know. I don't think that she would do it because why would she kill him?
Yeah. I think the cat is what killed him, but Stroganoff tried covering it up because he seems protective of her.
Yeah, but I don't know about any of this. I'm just a little girl. You'd like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. We are nihilists. We do not care about good and evil. We simply care about the sea. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes.
A laudable trait.
What?
I'm quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, yes.
Do you hear it? The accusatory cry of guilt on the wind.
What accusatory cry of guilt?
Sorry, you've lost me.
Proof of involvement, man, but you can't hear such a call with your ear. No, you must hear it with your eyes, for observation is the basis of all deduction.
What are you talking about?
I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth.
Oh boy, here we
Oh
go.
boy. Yay. So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance if you please.
Well, he looks way more dreamy in this style. Do you see it? Like, his face is like way more defined.
Ah, swoon.
With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes?
With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said of these two
Prevaricators.
Prevacatory.
Prevaricators.
Prevaricators. There we go.
Observation?
And if you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Ahsoki's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened.
Precisely. You are delightfully to grasp my meaning.
Alright, I'll see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died. Oh, are we gonna find that earring there, maybe? Chunky arms. We discovered that the earring was missing.
Yeah.
But oh,
Oh,
are you serious?
ink.
Okay, yeah. I'd have to get down here to see it. Oh, look at this! Some kind of stain in an unusual place.
Yeah, here. It looks like the ink, if I'm not mistaken.
Ink. And look at the color, too. It's clear where this came from.
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff. You seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Ah, yes, I don't know where the dirt comes from.
So, nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain.
What are you trying to say?
It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain.
At least this time, like, we don't have to go through the whole wrong one. We're kind of just making it right the first time. It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform.
And I think what made it is clear.
Indeed it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, please present the evidence that proves it.
My pleasure. Alright then, the evidence that proves what the stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform really is... is there a separate thing for the ink, or is it the writing?
It's probably
Yeah.
just the writing.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes, it's this photograph, and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink.
A rather unusual color of ink, purple.
Ah!
Ah, the penny drops at last. Now you see the significance.
The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color.
Ink has been dry and could possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilled.
Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in Dead Student's cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed button to make Barya do emergency stop and bolt cabin door shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel. Beef, please. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty, patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet. Beef, please. You must help me. I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student boy on floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. But my little one, my little furry friend. Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Ahsoki's cabin. Oh, it's a speed shit. Then he tripped over it and broke his neck when he fell over the floor. Yes, that is right. So after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers?
To find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor.
She said she was worried when she heard sounds of something falling on the floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked. So she opened to look, and you already know what happened after.
If you
It still clipped out a little bit.
Oh, did it cut out?
Yeah, like right at the end. What?
Okay.
when you went to Mr. Ahsoki's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead?
Why? I already told you. When Nina opened door of student's cabin, I looked inside.
I was asking Miss Pavlova.
Well, Miss Pavlova? Da.
Oh,
Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark, and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared.
understand. And I believe you.
So is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? This can't be it. This is too dumb. Like,
Something very nearly slipped my mind. Yeah, like it's got to be like the assassin.
yeah. Oh, Mr. Sholmes?
This photograph, yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to be somewhat unnatural.
Of course, fucking writing. What do you mean, unnatural?
What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, well... Kasuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck. Which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? Well, is it the writing that we've been talking about plenty? Or is the fact that, like, there's no way he would have broken his neck falling from this angle? Right? Like, you can't fall forward and break your neck like this on the random floor, right? It's like,
Yeah, I
don't know,
guess.
but I think it's probably the writing.
Yes!
This word in Russian clearly wasn't written by Kazuma. So if you're looking for something unnatural, that's the obvious point.
Very true. It is certainly peculiar. But it's not what I meant by unnatural, I'm afraid. That particularly crass detail was obstructed by the culprit. Orchestrated. I meant to identify another point.
Oh, I see.
Imagine, if you will, losing your footing yourself. In my opinion, if you landed as the victim appears to have done here, it would be most unnatural. I'm sure you'll reach the same conclusion.
How thoughtful you are, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you for your gentle guidance.
Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck. Which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? Is it his eyes been closed? like the pained expression on his face. It's the fact that he's lying
Okay.
forward. It's the fact that like nothing is wrong with his neck.
Yeah.
Is the fist being closed? What do you? What do you think I should point out?
I almost want to say the face.
Yeah, let's go with the face.
Yes!
It must be here, surely. No, that's not right.
Allow me to offer you a piece of advice regarding the pursuit of detection, my dear fellow. When noted a crucial point, it can be helpful to keep your eyes open.
They were open.
It can be equally helpful to use them.
Sorry, I'll try that. Well, Jake says it's the fist, so we're gonna do the fist.
I think it's probably what Mr. Sheldon speaks by control, isn't it?
Susano, you're speeding up. You're just out of control.
The word written in a foreign language underneath his fingerprints, surely?
No, we already went over that.
That particular grass tail was orchestrated by the culprit. No, I meant to identify another point. Imagine, if you will, losing your footing yourself. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. All right, let's trust Jake. Wait. What?
I think he just gave it to us.
Oh, nice. If Kazuma Children fell by some terrible stroke of bad luck, broke his neck. Alright.
Yes!
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right.
The exact same thought occurred to me. And a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat.
Fuck that. I punched the ground when I start this fight.
Yeah, punch the ground to, force yourself back up.
Exactly.
Yeah, here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say, as though he were gripping something.
What do you mean?
Simply that I took the liberty.
Has he had some evidence the whole time he didn't tell us? It was in his hand.
Oh my god. Of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago.
You did?
And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow?
Mr. Sheldon, show us, please.
Why, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense?
Oh.
This is what I found.
Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle.
It's the missing earring. Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. I wonder how long it takes before we can point it out.
Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key.
What?
The truth is now tantalizingly close.
Oh, by the way, we hit the 2-hour mark. It seems like we're getting close to the end of this. Do you want to keep going, or...?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine with keep on.
Okay. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist?
This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe, find the answer with your own eye.
Jake says it is almost over in like 30 minutes or so.
God. She has such petite ears among the beautiful hair like little pink shells.
That's one of the other one that matches it. Something attached to it here. Yeah, because we've seen this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we just have to present it, I guess. If that's the case, she doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. Because it's definitely the other one. Yeah.
Yes!
Miss Pavlova, I noticed that on your ear. By the way, it's a good thing that you told us to look at those earlier, because I was going to skip them. They ended up being important. Even though
You're welcome.
There you go. Even though you have a metal earring, a decorative part of it seems to be missing. The little link holding it must have broken, I suppose. Eh, what? But looking at your other ear, I notice a crescent moon. Ah. I don't believe it!
Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there is only one logical conclusion.
Jake asks, where did that snake go? We haven't seen it in like an hour.
It's eating the cat.
Yeah, it's in the corner.
Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Who knows?
Okay, what did he say? Oh, yes. Yes. Miss Pavlova. Mr. Ahsoki must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. Perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Ahsoki's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But then, the question is, why did he do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? Oh no. Angel. No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night. What did you do to Kazuma? Ah! Yet.
Like, it just looks like she was shot.
Yeah. When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship, and then, when I was at last in this cabin, then I could relax after this horrible long day. Meow. Darka, wait. I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing worked. Darka would not come back. Oh, we still didn't find the cat either. Or she said that she got the cat back and then it escaped again. I don't know. Knock, knock.
Yeah.
Luck. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. The young man from your country. He was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Darka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, and I was going to leave the man's cabin... Just a moment, sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Ah. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that thing. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company is performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see. So you've run away. Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Doesn't the captain like her too? Like, isn't she like part of the crew, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait! I shouted, and then... Meow. A Darka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And... as he turned around to look at me... Oh, the bed frame. I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. And that's when he went to fetch help
Just messed up.
from Seaman Stroganoff, who's on duty out in the passageway. This is dumb. I heard Nina cry out and thud on floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at the cabin door, shaking like leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go." So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Kazuma's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door. But how did they know that he was in there? Because she didn't think...
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she thought that he was going to the cabin, or to the captain, not to the wardrobe.
I think, as Red Letter Media would point out, it seems like everybody's been reading the script.
Yes. I went into cabin and I looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway. Okay, well, okay, he checked the room, I guess. Fair enough. In wardrobe, still sleeping. Right? That's when he found me.
You worked out a plan to lay the blame on the stowaway.
I closed the wardrobe doors, put back strange paper aside. But unluckily for me, that's the only reason Susano-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. What if she's like, "Oh, someone put it back? Alright, I don't believe you. You were lying the whole time." I dragged the young man's body to a good place and used the ink that was spilling to write on the floor. I wrote, "Wardrobes." The person who found them would look inside the wardrobe and find Stowaway. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
And tell me, what of the glass bell?
It was by my feet, so I picked it up.
I see.
But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the second half. Then Angel went back to her cabin, and I finished job by pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway. Yes. according... Oh, that's you.
The SS Beria did indeed come to an emergency halt a little after 2 a.m. Thus, enticing the bolt of the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery.
There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you ran away from your homeland. It's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Yes. But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first? What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. He said an inspector was his friend. Ah, yes, meaning me. Who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, I...
Hey, I'll stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova. It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Ahsoki really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know.
No, he's clearly going to the wardrobe, right? What?
Yeah. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain, but... he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There is one more deduction to make.
What? Another deduction? Why are they playing this up? We clearly know he's going to talk to us.
Yeah. Yes, what action was the victim really about to take at that moment? Can we determine whither the young man's gaze was directed?
This case was made such a huge deal of like what direction people are looking. Like,
first, consider the victim's location within the cabin.
that's easy. I remember every detail of that room. It's identical to this one. I mean, yes, like I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. The cabin has been my home for this entire voyage.
So this is how it looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama?
Yes, it's exactly how it was. Inside this flashback that we're somehow living in.
Yes. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, if there's one thing I've learned today, it's that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? Oh, I meant to present. I should present it. Oh well. The wardrobe. My wardrobe. I was in there at the time, of course, sleeping soundly, too soundly. If only I hadn't eaten that chicken that night that was laced with a sleeping drug. If only he'd woken me up. Then maybe this tragedy would never have happened.
Take that!
Considering everything that had happened last night. Certainly it may have looked as though Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord.
However, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe.
The wardrobe.
And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend sleeping soundly.
Ah!
Miss Pavlova, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Ahsoki's exact words last night?
Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Another opinion.
Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Ahsoki intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if between them they might be able to help in some way, no doubt.
Oh no.
Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Ahsoki was looking at. Things may have ended up very differently if you had.
Miss Pavlova. I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did. And that will never change. And my Japanese honor requires that I challenge you to a duel. With my friend's katana. I hope you'll never forget that. I'm sorry. Really. I'm so sorry. What the
Too
have I
bad.
done?
Banishing you to the shadow.
Realm. And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Buria was finally laid to rest. Last January, 7:14 p.m. SS Buria, first class cabin, passageway.
Dun dun.
Dong. Jake says, my grandfather's deck has no weak cards, but it does have these handcuffs. But what happened to Miss Pavlova now, then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. Why would the British police care about a Russian girl killing a Japanese man? I don't know.
Yeah, this all seems very...
Yeah. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort that all out. Mr. Sholmes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia, then? No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in an exile for life, and nothing in the future will change the government's status on exiles.
Well, and also, I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah.
Well, you left the country, you can never return.
Yeah. Sounds like a bad Star Trek episode, like if you leave the planet, they don't let you back on.
Oh, yeah.
I see. I'm sorry.
Actually, I think there are a couple different Star Trek episodes that have similar plot lines to that.
Steven Stroganoff? I wanted to help our angel. No matter what. But I didn't think about you. But how you lost good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. Take a drink. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazuma's death feels like such a waste, but...
Now I get to go to Britain!
Woohoo! Well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Ah. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes. I did stow away, after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So, you should get back to your cabin now. Looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it's even begun, then. I think that only days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing together about how we'd tear up the streets of London. Seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping?
She's going to kill herself.
Oh god. Susano-san?
Never,
You got cut off.
Naruto-san, I didn't know you had returned.
Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. Oh no.
Can't believe this has happened.
Oh god, her eyes.
Yeah.
I can't believe someone's life could be over just like that.
Just like this. Shing! Cut some in half. Susano-san.
Naruto-san, I need you to cut my head off before I scream. He had such great ideas for his visit to Great Britain, so many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away, just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth, that it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruto-san. It's just too much.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess this is her. This is her lock.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone.
I wish there was something I could say.
Damn it.
No.
Inspector!
My duty was to see Ahsoki-san safely to Great Britain. But I failed. It caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. Again. I'm a real fuck-up. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder.
You know, he hasn't coughed and bled in a long time.
Yeah. Nobody blames you. Inspector. What? And I'm freaking at least... Huh?
Gotcha, bitch! Surprised, Mr. Naruto!
Is this gonna go on through the entire game? What is the meaning of this?
Oh, a trifling matter. Simply, that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting.
Sorry?
You see, I'm into some BDSM things. I like
no.
it when you're in shackles. You're a stowaway, after all.
You think this is funny?
Mr. Sholmes!
I just realized we went through that whole thing. We never made it. I can break these cuffs joke.
Oh my god.
We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Not at all, not at all. And, though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heartening. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was a stowaway. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant. Well, there you go. There's the loophole. And also moderately chill in chat says, objection! Which is good. I like it.
Yes.
Was to be. In the light of Mr. Ahsoki's unfortunate death, I'm afraid that the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no, I don't care for me, but poor Susano-san.
My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue surely.
Ah,
But there was no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Schultz. We know of no other lawyer.
yeah, like, are student visas, like, transferable on death? Like,
Apparently.
you just give them to your friend.
Wait, when you worked for the embassy, that's not how that worked, right?
Of course not. It's like, oh, well, this guy died, but his best friend's here, so we'll give him his visa. Oh my god.
Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained by your country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid.
Oh, but
But anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer.
yes.
Miss Susano?
Yes.
Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it?
Ah, yes, you can be the assistant.
But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Mr. Naruto. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... I'm sorry. In that case, I don't think there's even a chance that it could work.
As I said, there is still more than a month before we reach England's shores.
That's all it takes to become a lawyer, right? Like a month?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really easy.
I mean, Kim Kardashian tried doing it in like that amount of time, so...
Oh, no.
Isn't that right, Mr. Naruto?
Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain.
Mr. Naruto!
That's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody can learn all of that in just 40 days? Is a month 40 days? What?
A month is 30 days.
Yeah. So there's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector. That's how studying works. Every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? For Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Susano? Oh, whoa. A smile.
Creepy.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Thank you.
So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say?
Jake says, if you watch this video, I can give you 14 tips to learn all of the law for turn of the century Great Britain. Number 12 will make you trip over a cat and break your neck. Are you serious?
One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable.
No. It's madness. Yet fascinating.
Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree?
Fascinating.
The duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest. Give us fascination.
Speak for yourself.
Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is in his character, no. And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eye. From the early hours of this morning until the very moments now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage.
Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector! After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? Said that I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here.
Cute. It's
If you'll excuse me then, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. Time for round 2, baby. I need to discuss what to do next, and how best to make my report.
Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer?
I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all.
Thank you.
And, Mr. Naruhodo, it's time to die! I'd like you to take charge of this.
What? Me? Are you sure?
I'm sure it was what Kazama-sama would have wanted. It's famous. Karama. It's a great sword. It's been in the Ahsoki clan for generations.
So a guy named Kazuma has a sword named Karuma? Very well, I accept. I will treasure it always.
Also, I feel like Kazuma's family would want their family sword. Right?
Yeah, baby.
Not like his gay lover, you know.
So then, Miss Susano, since we'll be working together for some time to come yet.
Not answer no. I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study.
Yes, that's exactly what I need.
But before we begin, hey-ya! I have an earnest favor to ask you to.
Oh
What?
my God. I thought that was what she's gonna do too. Goodness, what is it?
Please throw me to the ground
Uh-oh.
3 times.
Oh, is this to make up for all the times that she did it and we didn't deserve it? What?
I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course, you would never really have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I had lots of suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, I was completely unforgivable behavior.
No. You were in shock.
Also, the optics of, like...
Throwing tiny girl to the floor. Shit.
Yeah.
What did he say? What was the You just found out about me stowing away, and the cabin door was locked on the inside, and...
No! I won't let you make excuses for me! Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you! And not just once, but 5 times!
I wonder if that actually counts, like... Because I think I could have done it more when I was examining the girl's room, right? Like, if I keep doing things that piss her off, will it count that?
Possibly.
It'd be funny. That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it?
Please, you must!
We're about to be accused of yet another murder.
Oh my god. Just take hold of me, throw me, do it! Think about it!
I'm not really into this kind of thing.
This is all for, like, the waifu shit.
Yeah, definitely. No. I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life.
Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes!
I observed you throwing techniques several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed.
Where did he see that?
I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling. Wink, wink.
Oh no.
Oh, well, no, what? It's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of ancient jiu-jitsu technique.
Apparently it's called the Susano Takedown. Leaves your head swimming, but believe me.
How beguiling. I am a practitioner of combative arts myself. I am a somewhat accomplished boxer.
There he goes, dancing around again. Last week, you're like, I'm Harlock Shrums, I'll be your freestyle dance instructor.
Yes!
That was so good.
I would have you be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your wrestling throw. Oh, God.
Yes! I'd be honored!
She's gonna throw us again. Instead of throwing
Oh.
I guarantee it. Because they won't animate that.
Yeah. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
Are you ready? Naruhodo?
Sorry? What?
Yeah! As you can see, you throw from the abdomen.
Oh, yes, a wrestling indeed. And that's what you term the Susano Takedown, is it?
Actually, no. That was a Susano squash.
In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind.
No.
What? Karuma. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through the generations of the Ahsoki clan. Can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little irregular, surely. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. I study the blade. So its name compels its molder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. And I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. My mission is to kill Queen Victoria. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end. To the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing you had to do. I still don't know what it was. But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. Great Britain's capital, London. End.
Finally.
God, it took so long. Alright, so that's where we're going to call it for tonight. I'm not sure when the next time I can stream is, because I'm moving in a week, or I guess in 5 days. So probably won't be set up. I don't know if you can do Tuesday or Wednesday, but like I probably shouldn't, because I'll be packing and stuff.
I mean, we can wait until after you move.
Yeah. So it'll be a little bit. I was talking to John off stream that we might, now that we finish this case, we might like play a different game and then come back to this after that, because this is taking a while. But I don't know. We will figure that out in the intervening time. But for now, I guess we're just done. Goodbye.
Excellent. Bye-bye.